Making some chicken to go with our homemade chicken flautas tonight. Got the tortilla shells out. Once we're home, I will mix the chicken, spices, and cream cheese, put it in the tortilla shells, roll it up, bake it for 15 to 20 minutes, and it will be done. My next job is to clean my fridge. The shelves need cleaning. As you can tell, we are getting very bare here. But we are going home in a week, so we are trying to not overload our fridge because, well, we're not going to be here that long. Hey guys, sorry that it is loud in the background. I have my TV on in the living room. I'm in my kitchen, but my youngest is home because, well, I slept in and didn't hear my alarm clock in time to get him off to the bus stop. And my oldest two were so happy that I was able to get up in time for them. So I have an appointment at 3:30 and we were going to go get my youngest anyway early. So I guess it just saved us a trip. I don't know. But I have an appointment. But I have an appointment at 3:30 to do a chest x-ray all the way downtown. And we would have to go get him early from school because it takes us a little bit to go there. And his bus doesn't come till like 3. And my appointment's at 3:30. So we wouldn't have made it out there in time if we waited for him. So it just saved us some time from having to go pick him up now because, well, I slept in. But I did my makeup. I wasn't going to do all of that. But I found this pink eyeshadow palette that I keep forgetting that I have. And I was like, you know what? That's it. I'm using it. So this is what I did. I like it. What else is going on? Oh, our van is done. I got the call that our van was ready to be picked up. So I texted my husband, said, hey, they called, the van's ready. So he's going up there right now because he's off work and to get our van. So fingers crossed that this light does not come back on. There's no more issues. And this is it because I really don't want to have to deal with any more BS before we have to go home next weekend. So yeah, let's just hope and pray that everything works out great. But nothing else is really going on. My oldest son, he has clubs on Monday and Thursdays after school. He does robotics club on Mondays. And on Thursdays, he has this gaming club. But because of my appointment, I didn't know if we would make it out in time to pick him up because it's over at 4:30. And since my appointment's at 3:30, sometimes they take me right away, sometimes they don't. So I just told him, you're to come home, ride the bus, because they have a house key, they can let themselves in. And he was okay with it. And I texted the teacher letting her know why he wasn't going. And all of their teachers, they know about my health issues, so they understand. You know, we're a one-car family. I don't drive. I'm classified as disabled. I do drive. I do have a license, and I can drive. I just don't. The only time I will drive is if there's like an emergency situation or like when my husband had his accident, we had a rental car, and when we got our new car, I had to drive one of the vehicles. So, yeah, I don't like driving. I have anxiety like out the house when it comes to driving. Now, if it's locally, I can do that. But like highways and stuff, I can't do that anymore. It's just because of the pain that I deal with. I think my anxiety like gets heightened and my joints lock up. I've had that happen, and that is the scariest thing to have happen to you when you're driving, where, you know, a joint locks up and there's nothing you can do about it, and you just have to do what you have to do until you get home safely. So yeah, I am going to be nervous once my husband goes back out to sea. He goes back out to sea in 2021, and I've already told the kids that don't expect me to be driving around everywhere. The only places that I will be going is like to the grocery store. And even with that, I'm probably going to do grocery pickup, where I just order a lot of the stuff and have it sent out to the van so I don't have to get out of the car. But yeah, it's going to be interesting when he goes out to sea, because I don't really like going many places anyway. So I already know, like, I'm not going to be going around many places besides when I need to go to a doctor appointment, and I'm hoping I don't have to go out anywhere too far without him, because, well, I don't like to. So I'm going to try and get a lot of my appointments done before he goes out to sea, because I don't usually have to go to the doctors. Certain specialists I only have to see every few months. Now there are some doctors I have to see more, like my rheumatologist I see like every month. If it's like once a month, I'm fine. But if it's like every week, that takes a toll on me. And it's like all day. It's just, yeah, it's stressful. And I do try to make a lot of my appointments when my husband is gone out to sea for morning, so I don't have to worry about taking kids or what am I going to do with the kids, stuff like that, because I don't need the extra stress and anxiety. But we'll cross that bridge when we get there. It's not like I haven't done this many a times. My husband's been in the Navy for 15 years, so I'm used to having to do a lot of things on my own when he's out to sea. It sucks, but I deal with it, especially with health issues. You just learn how to cope the best you can and deal with it. I know you guys probably see this like blue thing hanging above my head. I have this snowflake decoration because I'm right in my kitchen. This is my front window in my kitchen. So yeah, I'm only staying right here because it's got good lighting and it's away from the craziness. My youngest son decided he wanted to watch TV in my bedroom, which is fine, but it's just funny because he has a TV in his room that works just as well as my TV, so he just likes my bed. He likes to get on mommy's bed and be comfy, he says. But there's really nothing left to say. I have dinner cooking. I already showed you that. I will maybe do some videoing when we're on our way, but I will get back on here when I am prepping our dinner so you guys see that. But I will talk to you guys later. Bye. Okay, so I'm prepping our dinner to make chicken flautas. I do not know if I said that right, but please excuse me. I know this looks like a hot mess. I added the 6 ounce of cream cheese. I added cumin, 1/4 teaspoon of cumin, 1/4 teaspoon of garlic powder, 1 cup of Monterey cheese. I added 1/3 cup of salsa, and then I'm going to add the shredded chicken. This recipe says you can use canned chicken, but I am using like fresh chicken. So I am gonna cut up and shred about 4 skinless, boneless chicken breasts and add this to it. It's really a preference, I guess, on how much you want to add. But you mix the cream cheese mixture up like I'm doing. And then with the chicken, you put it in a flour tortilla shell and you're going to bake them for 15 to 20 minutes. But yeah, this is what the mixture is looking like so far. I still have to mix it a little bit more. But okay, here we go. I have some chicken already shredded. I'm just going to add that. And I will mix this up. And the chicken is added. Now I'm going to put some of this in some flour tortillas. I'm going to roll them up and I'm going to put them in the fridge because I'm not going to cook them yet. But then when I'm home for my appointment, all I have to do is put this in the oven to bake 15 to 20 minutes and our dinner is done. So after you put them in and roll them up, they will look like this. And then once you bake them, I will show you what they look like later. And here is the chicken flautas. This is what was left over from dinner, crispy. Turned out great. Everyone Loved it. There's only 4 left, and there was 2 trays full. So, forgot to really video what they look like coming out of the oven, but I mean, this is leftover from dinner, so this is what it looks like. But yeah, my husband's gonna take 2 to work tomorrow, and I'm gonna have 1. But yeah, it was a hit, so I highly recommend these for dinner again. Okay guys, so this day is over. Kids are asleep. Elf is situated with her little setup, and I will show you guys what I did for the elf because it's just something easy and cute. But I'm exhausted. This day really didn't really have a lot of things today. Just had that chest CT scan. Can't get words out because I'm so exhausted. I ended up having some little dumping syndrome happen. I had a sugar-free popsicle, which I've had numerous times, and for some reason it did not agree with me this time. So, I don't feel that great. So, yay to that. But there is something that I am not used to, that I've noticed since losing all this weight. I am constantly cold. I'm wearing long sleeves all the time. I have a blanket on me at all times. And doesn't help the fact that I have Raynaud's. I have a circulation issue. So that means my hands and my feet and other extremities of my body does not get blood supply easily. And it is painful. And it's annoying because even though it can be, let's say, 90 degrees outside, I can have a flare-up and need to wear gloves. But the only difference is it's like when I'm inside with air conditioning or touching anything cold, and if it's in the heat, I have the reverse effects of it where my hands get red and white blotchy and swollen and hurt. So yeah, it sucks all the way around. So yeah, going home is going to be very interesting. Now, my husband did get me gloves that have, it's waterproof and they'll keep my hands warm. And I also have these fingertip, I have gloves that are, like the fingertips are exposed. So if I need to use my phone, I can. But I'm going to get off here because you can tell that I am very exhausted and my words are not coming out right. So I will get on here in the morning. And here is our elf. She's in a glass jar. I wrote, I'm hiding in here because your dad farted. Help, love Cora. P.S. Ken is in the fridge. So it's just something cute. And Ken is, like she said, in the fridge, bundled up. Okay. Good morning. It's early morning. Rose is sitting with me. TV's on, waiting for Bobby to come out.
Affordable coverage, valuable benefits. Now that's better. On the economy, a unique leader, Mike Bloomberg's created over 400,000 jobs.
She likes her rubs in the morning.
That works for us. Tax fairness, where the wealthy pay their fair share. Education, affordable college and high-skilled.
Okay, let's get these kids up for school. Did you have a good sleep?
Precision is the trusted choice for
Huh?
garage door repair. Call Precision by Wednesday and get a free service call.
I went in there and you were like this. You're just tired, that's why. Because you have to get up early. I know, waking up early sucks. You can't lay back down, you gotta go get your shoes on. Time to get up. This is gonna be a fun morning with you. Alright, come on, let's go. Okay, so I'm trying to get myself up and go start this baking frenzy that I've determined to do. I want to make some cookies and this apple pie crumble cake. It looks so good. And I can enjoy it because it's going to be made sugar-free. So I just need to get motivated to get up and go do it. But it's really hard to do that because I'm very comfortable. Okay, here we go. I will try to video steps along the way. I'm not going to be able to video the whole thing because I have to read this recipe I found. So I will try and video what I can along the way so you guys can at least see the process of this cake. So here we go. Okay, so I chopped up the apples. I added all the ingredients, some sweetener, some flour, lemon juice, cinnamon, nutmeg, and salt. I have my pie crust already right here. I'm gonna mix all this and then add it to the pie crust, bake it at 400 degrees until it is nice and golden brown. I am going to make a dough crust to go on top of this, so I will show you what it all looks like when it's put together. Okay, so this is what it looks like put together. I always add cinnamon and nutmeg to the actual crust, so that's why you see a big mess. And I will top this with my homemade pie dough crust, whatever I'm trying to say. I'm making a homemade dough to go on top. So I'm going to roll this out, put it over it, and I will bake it. I will show you once it's completely put together and I put it in the oven. So I'll be right back. Okay, so we have a little bit over 11 minutes left. It is starting to brown, so I will wrap it with foil. I'm turning the fan on so my alarm doesn't go off, but everything is cleaned up. I'm going to make some banana bread because I have very ripe bananas, so I have that stuff out, but I will make this later once I rest. But yeah, I opened the oven the first time to show you guys, and my smoke detector went off because they're right there, and when you open the oven, any little bit, a hint of smoke triggers it. So I have my vent on so it does not trigger it. But the pie is looking good, so I'll be back on to show you guys what it looks like with the next part. Okay, so the 20 minutes is up. I put the foil around the edges the best I can. Doesn't need to be perfect. Then you're gonna pop it back in the oven for another 20 to 25 minutes. So I'm gonna set my timer for, let's do 22 minutes, and we'll, if it needs a few more minutes, we'll do that. So here we go. And it is in the oven. Timer is counting down. We will be back after it's done to check it. Okay guys, and here is the pie. It turned out really good, nice and golden brown. And yeah, I'm gonna keep this out to warm. Warm. I am not thinking. I'm gonna keep this out to cool. Okay guys, here is my pie. It is all done, perfectly golden brown. I'm gonna let this cool, and then I'm going to put it in the fridge, wrap it up, put it in the fridge until later for dessert. And yeah, that's it. All right guys, bye. Hey guys, so my kids are all in bed, and I'm just here to check in and update you guys on some news. My mother-in-law had her double mastectomy today. Now, a month ago, she found out she has breast cancer, and it was luckily stage 0. She didn't need to do any chemo. They did tell her she would probably need to do radiation and have a double mastectomy. So she did that today. Everything went well. She's actually home now, resting and gonna recover. We will be home next weekend, so we will see her next weekend. And I'm sorry that this lighting is crazy. I'm literally standing right by my Christmas tree because I was kind of fixing up some gifts that were down here, and I just stopped what I was doing to get on here real quick before I go to bed because I almost forgot. But I just wanted to update you guys on that. My chemo got moved to next on the 17th. So next week's going to be really crazy because I have appointments the 17th, 18th, and 19th before we go home. So that means our car trip home 4 days before I get chemo. And chemo takes a lot out of you. And yes, I deal with fatigue and weakness on a daily basis, but chemo like amplifies that. So the car trip probably is going to be agonizing, but I will deal with it. Always do. It seems like every time we go home, there's something new that I have to deal with, health-wise. So I'm not a stranger when it comes to having to manage health-related things on a trip. But today I did end up falling for the first time in several months. I don't know what happened. I was, and I'm okay now, but I'm very sore. I was trying to we have in our pantry on the bottom shelf, I keep old coffee cans, and I slit the lid a little bit so I can put our grocery bags or plastic bags in it, and reuse them for like our small trash cans that we have. So I was getting a new plastic bag out and I lost my balance. My legs were giving out, so I was trying to lower myself and did not go according to plan, and I landed like right on my butt. Well, I already have a fractured L5-S1 disc. I've had fusions done twice, like a few years ago, and I have a fractured disc, the ones that I've had the fusion on because of a fall I had several months ago. And because I had gastric bypass, when I found out that I had this fractured disc, I couldn't have surgery yet. I had to wait until my 6-month mark from gastric bypass to even consider having surgery. Well, I planned on having my back surgery after the holidays because I did not want to have another back surgery so soon to any holidays because I didn't want it to be an agonizing pain. But thankfully, because of my pain pump, I'm not hurting worse. But I am definitely feeling this little fall. It's kind of like my sciatic nerve is damaged from my fusion. My first back surgery I ever had, I don't know what went wrong, but it severed my sciatic nerve, resulting in me 9 months later having a revision of my fusion. And because of that, I have permanent nerve damage. That's why I have a pain pump now, because no medications, no shots, no injections, even surgery did not help relieve my pain. So I have a pain pump, and it has helped 70% of my pain. I still have pain even with the pain pump, but it's more manageable, and I can take a muscle relaxer at night, and sometimes I'm okay and other times I'm not, and I just have to deal with it and do what I have to do to get comfortable. But anyway, tomorrow I'm going to be taking it easy the best I can. I have an OB appointment tomorrow, and I have to get blood work tomorrow. So after that, I'm just going to be coming home, prepping our dinner, and that's all. And relaxing. I need to be taking it very easy on the days to come, leading up to our trip home. So I'm not in more pain on our trip home. But I hope you guys had a great day. I will try and video the best I can tomorrow. But there's not really much left to talk about because today really wasn't that busy. I just did some baking. I cleaned a little bit, but yeah, I'm gonna get off here and listen to the Dish with Trish podcast. Trisha Paytas is having, she had Shane Dawson on her podcast, and I love everything about Trisha and Shane and Jeffrey, and yeah, I just really enjoy their life and their dynamic and everything. I'm so proud of Shane and all his accomplishment. Oh my, I'm already messing this up. All his accomplishments. When he released his conspiracy palette, I was so upset that I could not get my hands on his palette because I was at chemo, had no service, could not even get on to save my life to even try to get one, and finances were just strapped. So even if I was able to get on, I wouldn't have been able to buy one anyway because, well, we didn't have the finances to. So I'm hoping to one day when he launches the palette again in a couple months that I can get my hands on one, because I am just so envious of everyone posting their palettes and the looks they've done, but I'm not going to stress about it because it's not good for me. I know that eventually I will get one. My husband a few months ago bought me a gift for Christmas from Jeffree Star's site, and it's in this, standard pink box with his logo on it. I have no idea what's in it, and I've stared at this box for months. So I'm looking forward to opening that this weekend when we do our family Christmas and seeing what it is, because I know it's not the conspiracy palette because he had purchased that before Shane launched it. So can't wait. But anyway, I'm gonna get off here because I'm gonna go take my meds. I'm gonna go relax in my bed, listen to this podcast until I start to get sleepy, and then I will be going to bed. So I will talk to you guys later. Bye.